Oh, it's been such a long time. Let's wait for people to show up here. Oh, it looks like we're on. Yeah, we're on for the next couple of seconds. It's gonna be, you know how it is. Okay, I got notifications on my watch about my own live stream. Thank you. Now I know that I'm streaming. Oh shit, there's a SpaceX stream today in 20 minutes. I've just been told. Hey everybody, Devin, Louis, Austin, how's it going everybody? Welcome to the stream. I just found out that that I need to shave apparently, and that there's a there's a SpaceX live stream in 20 minutes. So this is perhaps bad timing on my part. Hey Nightwing, how's it going, dude? Welcome everybody, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. It's been quite a while. Luis Rosero Tejada, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. But Luis says, greetings from Ecuador. As you guys know, I'm always very curious to find out where you guys are. Man, I really should have done something a little bit. I look kind of, I just got a haircut, but I didn't style my hair or anything. Hey, Andrew, Mateos, Luis, yes, SpaceX. I just found out. Perhaps I shouldn't have advertised their stream because I'm kind of competing with them today. I didn't intend to, but that's how things worked out. Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you real quick about, well, about a lot. It's been quite a while since I've done a live stream, and I miss talking to you guys. As you know, I love interacting with you guys. The people who enjoy the content is a big part of why this is so fun. It's so fun to share my love for emulation portable games. We're going to talk a little bit about the Switch. By the way, let me boot up here. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm doing a bunch of setup here on my end so I can kind of monitor the stream and see who's here and all that. Give me 1 second here. Where is it? Right here, live streaming. My phone is buzzing like crazy. I think my girlfriend is texting me. I'll talk to you later. I'm just gonna do this. Let's mute that for a second. Okay, here we go. Let me see here. Give me a moment here, guys. Just every live stream is like this, right? Like the streamer takes some time to kind of like get situated. Okay, so okay, we're back here. Finally, you're streaming again, says the female bass. I always remember. I feel bad because it's been so long since female bass is always your, or bass. I remember we had this conversation. It's been so long since I live streamed that I forget that you already explained to me what that means, and I believe it's bass. Bizarre Bibo, again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your names. He asks, or she asks, any chance you still plan on doing the DOS emulator video? Absolutely. I'm a kid of the 90s. I was born in 84, but my childhood, my memories are really from the 90s, and I played a lot of 90s DOS games, and I absolutely want to talk about more DOS games here. I have, of course, I'm going to be pimping out the GPD-XD because it is my preferred way of playing most portable games, and it runs DOS really well, but I realize the GPD-XD is quite expensive for a lot of people. It goes for about 200 bucks. And I should be really offering better alternatives for everybody to be able to enjoy these things, right? So I'm going to be doing a lot more reviews of budget technology that can still tie into retro games that I think you guys are going to enjoy. I'm going to review this phone here. I already reviewed it for the Brazilians. This is the Xiaomi Mi A1. I think that's how it goes. And it's a really solid budget phone. And I have some emulators here because I'm doing that controller. Where is it? I don't know where it is. But I'm going to be doing a lot more controller reviews for you guys because I know it's something that people always, whenever I talk about the GPD-XD, people are like, yeah, the GPD is great and all, but it's so expensive. Can you review some Bluetooth controllers for us who already have phones? Whoa, did you see that? I just flipped something completely accidentally. So people are like, can you review like more affordable tech products that we can enjoy, so like more affordable phones to run emulators and things like that, or Bluetooth controllers like this guy right here, right? So I'm going to be doing a lot more of that in the coming weeks. Yeah, so let me go back here to the chat. I talked so much, I skipped talking to some of you guys. Soda Goes asks, do you still play around with PSVR? Haven't touched it in quite a while. I don't even know what the releases are. I don't go on the PSVR subreddit so much anymore. So yeah, no, I unfortunately haven't kept up with it. Efrain Rodriguez says, hey, I'm new to your channel and I enjoy it a lot. Thank you so much, because we both share a passion for emulation. From Dominican Republic, living in the States now, but back on Dominican Republic, I used to emulate a lot, even here now. I've been to your country back in 2015. Absolutely loved it. I stayed at a resort called Cofresi, and it was absolutely beautiful. I want to travel so much more. In fact, thank you for bringing this up, because this is something I want to talk to you guys about. I want to do a lot more travel videos. They're so much fun. And but I know it's not really what I do here. I have a few travel videos with my girlfriend and things like that, and it doesn't really connect to retro gaming. So I'm not sure if it's gonna fit well with my content, and I don't want to create yet another channel because this is already my secondary channel. So I'm curious about how you guys feel about this. Diego, the Metallica fanboy, says, I never clicked on the stream so fast. Diego, thank you so much, dude. Very fun, dude. Izzy, did you get a GPD win? Asks Alan. GPD win 2. I haven't got one yet. The guys over at Droidbox, they didn't want to give one out because they're quite expensive, so they weren't comfortable with just giving one out for a review. But they offered me a loan model. I just haven't replied to the email yet, but I'll take that and do a loan review, which I've never done before. But for the GPD win 2, I would because I love the GPD win. So yeah. Craig Morgan says, "Sup, Izzy? I'm still waiting on 99 Vitas. I assume Craig is referring to the port of my game, 99 Vitas, for the Switch. And believe me, I'm very excited. I'm still waiting for it too. It's going to come out at some point. Andrew Abraham asks, very important gaming-related question. I'm considering buying a 2DS XL this Christmas season, mainly to play Metroid Samus Returns. Should I do it? Absolutely, Andrew. From your name, I'm going to guess, and from the analytics of my channel, how they break down, about 55% of the people who watch my channel are from the States. I assume you're American, right? So, in the States right now, a new 2DS XL goes for $150, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty decent value. It's about half of the cost of the Switch. And though the Switch has already officially more games than the 3DS, a lot of these games are arcades, like indie, eShop indies. So, what I mean by that is that though technically the Switch is on parity with the DS, the 3DS when it comes to the library, there is probably more enjoyable things on the 3DS right now than there are on the Switch. And I love my Switch, don't get me wrong, but the 3DS is a beast when it comes to the library because, again, remember, you can play 3DS games and DS games. So you can do a lot with the 3DS is my point for $150. The MMA Boom asks, what up? What I miss? Nothing yet. We just started. We've been streaming for about 7 minutes. So we're just talking to you guys. There's been an influx of new subscribers here on the channel. I'm so excited. I want to get to know you guys more. Giveaway 99 Vitas Steam Key. Great idea, Gary. Absolutely great idea. How should I go about doing that? I'm totally down for that. Aus 0905 asks, what's the future of emulation after all that has happened? I can't find a lot of videos on it. I bought a PSP 3000 after watching your videos and started playing the old games. First of all, welcome to the channel. I'm so glad to have you here. Good on you for buying a PSP. The PSP is one of my favorite consoles ever. There's so much you can do with it, and the emulation scene, the homebrew scene, though not as active today as it was, say, 10 years ago, it's still, they're still putting stuff out there, and there's so much to do still with the PSP. I'm not sure. I'm gonna mod you. I just realized who's in the channel. My girlfriend Natalia is on the channel, and she's pretending like she doesn't know me. She says, "You're cute, love from Lethbridge." I forgot what I was saying. I got distracted. Damn, Izzy, looking trim, my dude. Thank you so much, dude. I just got a haircut. Need to shave still. Still working on the weight loss. My teeth, I'm very proud that my teeth are all straight. Now, for you guys who are new to the channel, right, the Brazilians who know me from the main channel know that my teeth were really crooked as of a year ago, and I invested in some Invisalign, did some whitening and everything. My teeth are now, look at this, I'm proud of showing my smile now. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I was responding to a question that distracted me. Anyway, the future of emulation, Aus0905 asked. So it's still possible to find a lot of ROMs and emulators. They haven't scrubbed them out of existence entirely, and it would never be possible to do that. But it is a little harder for the casual gamer to find them, which is really what Nintendo aimed to do. You'll still always be able to find these things if you look hard enough. So emulation is truly never going away. The only way for emulation to for Nintendo to really put a dent on emulation would be for them to offer a competing service that would just make it so much more convenient to experience these games legitimately, as opposed to quote-unquote stealing them. Do you emulate with Dolphin? Asks Green Gurin. Never used Dolphin. Can you believe that? I have almost zero experience with the GameCube library, which is kind of embarrassing as a self-described Nintendo fan to admit. My Switch was delivered today, says Juka Pro. Welcome to the club, dude. You're going to love this thing. Terrence Anderson asks, PSXE versus FPSC for PSX emulation. I prefer ePSXE just because I have more experience with it. But I can't tell you any technical reason why I prefer it. I can't say that it has more accurate PS1 emulation than FPSC because I'm not that experienced with it. So I can't tell you. What about 3DS ROMs? You can still find them. You can still find 3DS ROMs. Luigi asks, Izzy, is it bad for your analytics to have Brazilian viewers on this channel? No, it is not. There's no problem. I just like that when the Brazilians come over here, we kind of can keep the chat in English so everybody can enjoy. Because I have a lot of viewers from the Philippines. There's a lot of viewers from Africa, from Southeast Asia in general, from Russia. And these guys, what they have in common is English. So it's easier for everybody if you all keep it English for their sake. Right? Alan Josias asks, yes, in Portuguese, but I'll translate for you guys. Have you played the Spider-Man game? Yes, I loved it, but I haven't gotten, I haven't put too much time into it yet. I've just been so busy, and every little free time I have, it's like during my breaks at work, and then I can't play Spider-Man. I play with the Switch, obviously. Diego the Talica fanboy asks, is it just a question, did the Vita Shell USB connection for transfer files work? Diego's referring to something for the Vita, right? Like when I talked about the Vita on my channel, I talked about how I was having to use an FTP client to transfer files back and forth wirelessly from my computer to the Vita. I tried using Vita Shell to get the USB to work. It didn't work on my computer at all. I have other computers here that I could have used, I could have tried to use them for that, but I was just kind of lazy, and FTP worked fine, so I didn't mess with it too much. MJJ asks, what do you think of GPD-XD front ends, and what is the best way to play NGPC? For GPD-XD front ends, I use TV Launcher, which is really meant for Android TV setup boxes, but it works really well on the, I'm going to show it to you guys here. While I'm turning on my GPD-XD, he also asks, what's the best way to play NGPC? I assume you mean Neo Geo Pocket. I would say any Android devices are really the best way to emulate most things, right? 10 years ago, I would have directed you towards the PSP, but today I'll say Android devices. So Shablam0 asks, yo, Izzy, do you have any solutions to the faulty PSVR cord? It's a horribly made cord, and I want to keep my PSVR safe. I haven't had a problem with mine just yet. Which cord are you referring to? Because the PSVR, if you guys don't know, it's a whole operation. You're connecting a thing to another thing, and then a thing to the PS4. It's a whole thing. It's not like just a little visor. It's like there's a little box that you have to. Anyway, there's a lot of moving parts to the PSVR, and I haven't had a problem with it yet. But then again, I don't use it that much. So there's that. Sotogos asks, have you seen or tried the Vita Grip that adds the 4 buttons the console lacks for ideal remote play? He's referring, of course, to the clickable L3 and R3 and the secondary shoulder buttons R2 and L2, which the Vita doesn't have, which makes it hard to fully enjoy remote play. Haven't tried that. I absolutely want to try that because I've been doing a lot of remote play on my Vita, and it works. It could be better. MJJ is from Kuwait. That's so cool. I always love to know where you guys are from because I know a lot of the people who watch me are from the States, right? That's what I expected because I'm creating content in English. But I know that there's a lot of people all over the world who consume English content. And to me, it's fascinating to find out that somebody from Kuwait, there's a guy from Saudi Arabia today commenting on the channel, a lot of people from the Philippines, the PSP, the emulation, the retro scene is really strong in the Philippines, I found out. And in fact, I'm picking up a little Tagalog to throw a couple of Easter eggs for the Filipinos who watch my channel. Bruno Sa just threw me 20 bucks. Thank you so much, dude. He says, sup, dude, here's my hurrah of support for you. Keep it up. Bruno, thank you so much. This it's very appreciated. Thank you. Very generous. Let's see what else. Arvind, I'm sorry, from India, bought GPD-XD after seeing your review. Thank you so much. Let me talk about that for a second. So as you guys know, this isn't my main gig, right? Like I have 2 YouTube channels. I'm busy all the time. I have podcasts and things like that. But I still have a day job, right? Like what I went to school for, my background. And I do a full, it's a full-time job, and it takes me away from creating content here a lot. And I would like to eventually one day transition to doing this full-time, because it's what I really enjoy. When I'm out at work, all I can think of is like ideas for videos, and like it's all that's in my head. This is what I live for, really. And I keep doing my job because, of course, I don't want to throw my schooling away. But when I review these products and you guys enjoy the videos and you like them and you share them and you buy the products that I review, it helps immensely in achieving that dream of doing this. This is what I feel like I really enjoy. None of my jobs, like I enjoy my job and everything, but I'm not crazy passionate. Like I don't go to work excited. Whereas when I'm creating a new video, I'm excited every day. And I've been doing this for 10 years. I started my first YouTube channel in 2008, still going strong over there on the Brazilian side of the internet. And to this day, I'm still very excited to do what I do. Whereas a traditional job, it's like, you got to pay the bills, you gotta go to work. And it's not like you don't have that drive that you just fully enjoy that, like you're just having fun, right? Work is work. This is fun. And when you guys buy products that I review, it's helping achieve that dream. That being said, I try to be like, obviously, it's helpful to me when you guys buy the product, but I don't want to lie about products just to get more sales. So I try to stay honest and talk about the flaws when I find them, and at the same time, I try to stick with budget products. Like for instance, like here's a good example, right? I'm gonna review this thing for you guys, right? I reviewed this on my main channel, and I showed it in one of my videos, and everybody's like, "Dude, review that channel, review the Bluetooth controller." It's a really cheap, like really inexpensive Bluetooth controller for cell phones that works like this. You put a phone up here. You must have seen a bunch of these before, right? So this is what it looks like. Little Bluetooth controller. It has shoulder buttons here, right? It's really inexpensive, right? Very affordable, and it makes playing games way better than with touch controls on your phone, right? But it is a really inexpensive product. It's like plastic. It's not like, it's not going to be like it's not going to be like a DualShock on your PS4. So, but that being said, whenever I review these really budget products, I end up finding that for the price that you're paying, it's still a decent value. So they're not amazing, and I'll tell you that it feels pretty cheap. It's plasticky, it's light, it's clicky, but it's still pretty fun, and it's still very affordable, very portable. So things like that, I try to focus on things that even if they're cheap and they're not a flagship product, they still offer a pretty decent value for the price. This thing I think is like 15 bucks. So like it's actually worth it. Going back here, sorry, I was talking so much. AJ, welcome. AJ's here. I get into Twitter arguments with AJ a lot, but it's out of love. AJ is a fervent Nintendo supporter, as am I. I love my Nintendo product. I have Nintendo tattoos after all. But I'm a little bit more critical of some aspects, whereas AJ sees it from a different point of view, and we butt heads a little bit on Twitter. I hope he knows, as everybody who sees those, that it's all in good fun. I love AJ, love his content. He's a moderator here, obviously. Welcome, AJ. It's been a while since we've done this, right? It's been quite a while. Gabriel Klein says, "Hey, Izzy, I bought an AP51. It's amazing. Thanks, bro. Dude, I love those headphones. I lost mine. I can't find them. I'm gonna end up buying a second pair. I lose things too often." Bruno said, "I got the cheap one, not so great. The iPiga Spider's pretty good." Yeah, iPiga is the bigger iPiga ones. This is an iPiga as well. This is like the cheapest one they offer. And that's the thing, right? I have a lot of viewers who are from India, from like Pakistan, from Southeast Asia, emerging markets. These guys, they don't have as much money as, say, North Americans. So something like this to them offers a really good value. So I'm going to be trying to bring things like this to the channel, right? And I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to try to always tie it into to gaming, because it's become my brand. Craig Morgan says, "Can you put a link to your podcast?" I would, but it's in Portuguese, so unfortunately, I don't think it would help you much. We have Raiden Genius here from Honduras, Nintendo Gaming from Puerto Rico. And AJ says, "We have different issues with Big N for sure. I say we sacrifice 3DS for better Switch Online, the perfect compromise, you bastard." You know what? I'll tell you this. I haven't played with my 3DS in a while because I'm so hooked on the Switch right now. I would sacrifice the 3DS. If it were up to me, Nintendo says, "Look, we're going to put the whole Super Nintendo GameCube catalog on a new virtual console-like offering, and you pay like 30 bucks a month, but you have all of these games, and you don't have to check back with the server every week because that's a little too much." Like if they did something like that, yeah, take away my 3DS. I'll do it. It's worth it. Crow Jester asks, what do you think about the NVIDIA Shield Portable? I have no experience with it, unfortunately, so I don't know. I haven't used it. I would love to use it. What I know is I don't like the form factor so much. It's not super pocketable. You guys know I'm big on real portability, like being able to pick this up and put it in your pocket. I got my Game Boy Micro right here. It doesn't get any more portable than the Game Boy Micro. You know what? I realize now I should have another camera here so I can like show these things a little bit, like switch the camera, and like I'm gonna buy a new camera today when I'm finished here, just for you guys, just for the streams. So the Shield, it's not very portable. So, but it is comfortable. That grip, that form factor makes it for a really comfortable grip. I mean, I didn't play with it myself, but that kind of grip feels more like a traditional controller than this. It's just flat back. This is not the most comfortable thing to hold forever, right? That's why they make grips for the 3DS, so you can like your hands kind of cup them nice, you know, more nicely. Did you know the Mario Kart Wii is coming to the NVIDIA Shield? Is it really? Bruno says NVIDIA was totally uncalled for. That's not what I meant. I swear that's not what I meant. I didn't mean it like that. I just got NVIDIA and Shield kind of switched, and it came out as NVIDIA. What do you think about the upcoming Asus ROG phone, or ROG? I haven't been following up with it, so I'm not sure how it's actually supposed to be pronounced. I haven't, as I just said, I haven't been following up with it so much. Do you own a CRT? I don't have a CRT. First Last TM 1999. You guys have interesting names. Bruce says, man, it would be perfect if 8BitDo makes a phone gamepad like the iPega one, but with the Joy-Con designs and the Dpad. That would be great, dude. That'd be amazing. What else we got here? So many new faces here. This is amazing. I miss talking to you guys. I wasn't sure if I should do like Q&As more often, or like actual gameplay videos, like live streams, right? Like old school games and stuff like that. So it's just great to be back and talk to you guys here. Lanny Mon asks, still undecided on Switch Online. Reckon, should I give it a go, Izzy? Well, it's going to have a 1-week free trial, so it costs you nothing to give it a try. I am, as I mentioned in my video, quite disappointed with Nintendo Online, right? I will likely get it because I want to play online with my girlfriend, for instance, right? So, and then when Smash comes out, I'm not a Smash fan, but everybody's going to be so caught up in that Smash madness that I feel like I'm going to be missing out if I don't try it. So I'll probably pick up Smash. It's going to be the first Smash game that I buy, believe it or not. The last time I played Smash, it was the GameCube one. I forget what that one was called. Never been a big Smash fan. I played, for somebody who didn't play much, like there was like 2 weeks where I was hanging out with a crowd that was doing nothing but like get together in this guy's basement and play Smash. So that was like the bulk of my Smash experience was those 2 weeks when we were playing a lot of it. But it's important to keep hydrated, especially when you're talking like this nonstop. Do you like Dragon Quest, Sir Salo? I feel like you're setting me up here because recently I mentioned that I don't like Smash and people got very offended, and so these games that have very staunch, like people who like love them a lot, like people who are very dedicated fans, they get quite upset when people say they don't like them. They almost take it like a personal slight. So I might be throwing myself to the wolves here, but I will say I don't like Dragon Quest. RPGs are not my thing. I'm not an RPG guy. I liked pen and paper RPGs back in the day, like Vampire the Masquerade, D&D, things like that. That was my jam. That was my RPG. I'll say this. I like action RPGs, right? Like Diablo for the Switch, I'm so hyped. I skipped Diablo 3 completely. In fact, I only played the first one way back in the day on Battle.net over a dial-up, playing with my friends from school. And I love Diablo, right? Like I play a lot of it on my PSP, and I have a video coming out about PC ports for the PS1. Right? And the first video in that series is going to be about RTS's, real-time strategy games that were ported for the PlayStation, which means that you can play them portably today. So stay tuned for that. Fork Knife is base as Shablam. I'm not a fan of Fortnite. I feel like such a hipster. I'm just saying that I don't like this and that popular game. I feel like I'm too old for Fortnite. It's a little too hectic for me. But then again, there are games games that are same level of energy, let's say, that I enjoy quite a bit, like Paladins. Maybe it's the building aspect that I find that having to have a gunfight while I'm building stuff is too much for me. AJ says, I'm not an RPG person either, which is weird considering my affinity for Pokemon. You're telling that to the guy who has a Pokemon tattoo. Yeah, weird. Love Pokemon. I have all of them. That's why I still love the 3DS so much. I still can play Pokemon Omega, the remakes for Ruby and Sapphire on the 3DS, right? And that's one of the reasons why my 3DS is right next to my bed. I still jump in to play Omega Ruby and things like that. But RPGs outside of Pokemon, not my thing. And Heart Gold. I'm also playing Heart Gold on my DS Lite, which I still love. I still love my DS Lite so much. Heart Gold is such a gem. Jesus Christ. DJ Zor says, hey Izzy, I'm a recent subscriber, but I just wanted to tell you that I love hearing your rants, and every time a new video of yours pops up on my sub box, it puts a smile on my face. I love hearing that. That makes me so happy, because that's how I feel about my favorite creators. So to know that somebody out there feels the same way about my stuff makes me really happy. So thank you. That makes my day. Izzy, do you have Victor Vran on Switch? Because it's very Diablo-esque. Game Misconduct asks. I would get it if the real thing weren't coming out. So because Diablo 3 is coming out, I feel like I'm going to be putting so much time into Diablo 3 that a similar game, it won't be worth my money, you know? Forrest Thacker says, big fan of your videos, bought a GPDXD Plus because of your recommendations. Right on, dude. Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. I love seeing these new faces. AJ adds, Pokemon is responsible for my disdain for 3DS. It immediately showed how dated it was. Every current Pokemon game on 3DS runs like trash. Unfortunately, that's true. Which is why they even gave up on 3D. X and Y, when they showed that 3D was only in the battles and not in the game, I thought it was really weird. And even when you turn on 3D in the battles, the frame rate takes a nosedive, like a noticeable nosedive. So yeah, I have to give you that. Although I will say, this is a problem specifically with Pokemon more so than a lot of other games that are more graphic intense. So I wouldn't blame the hardware so much as I would blame the developers, because I play a lot of 3DS games, and I gotta tell you, a lot of them are more graphically intense than the Pokemon titles for the 3DS, and they don't run like that. So who's really at fault here? Hey Izzy, looking forward to the big stream on Wednesday. There's a big stream on Wednesday? Did I schedule something for? I'm confused. What did I do? Did I accidentally hit what? A stream on Wednesday? I'm confused. Hey, Izzy, I think you should make your own gamepad system since you like emulation so much. My favorite game... Okay, so if I were to design a game, like something like the GPDXD, I mean, that's what I would design if I were to design something like that. I would do... If I were to do something like that, I would do basically what the GPDXD does, but with clickable buttons, larger OLED screen, larger battery, and a more recent version of Android, because there are some Android games that I would love to play on this thing that don't run on it because of the Android version that it runs, namely Hotline Miami. I'm such a big Hotline Miami fan. I'm a huge Hotline Miami fan. It saddens me that it's not out on the Switch. It's a game that would be, and Switch fans say that a lot. AJ can back me up on this, but I feel like Hotline Miami would be perfect on the Switch, and I'm surprised that Devolver hasn't put it on the Switch yet. I'm really bummed out, honestly. Bruno asks, I'm trying to start a channel. What would you say is more important, periodical uploads or more spit out videos with better quality? So Bruno, I'm going to preface this. This is a really great question, because this is something I think about a lot. And when you're a YouTuber, you spend a lot of your time debating, like studying the science behind it, like the marketing your videos, and when should I upload, and how often should I upload, and should I do a thumbnail like this or like this, and like how long should the videos be? We study, we obsess over these little metrics, right? I talk about that a lot with my friends who also work in this business. And I will say this, I don't consider myself an expert on this by any stretch of the imagination. My channels are relatively small, so I kind of feel pompous giving YouTube advice like I'm some big shot guy who knows all about this. I can't tell you what has worked for me and what hasn't, right? So one thing that hasn't worked for me in the past, and something that I'm actively changing, is negative content, right? And I know this sounds weird because my last video was relatively negative, because I'm kind of taking a shot at Nintendo for Switch Online and everything, but I'm still trying to come at it from that point of view, like from that perspective, or of where I love the company, I love what they do, I love the Switch. I'm just really disappointed that this isn't better, that this could be so much better, that this I could be. What I would love to do is to boast to my friends who don't have Switches yet, to say, look at how awesome Switch Online is. Look at all of these Super Nintendo games that you can play if you just buy, you know, if you pay this subscription service. So it's still very positive from my point of view, right? Like I'm criticizing it, but it's still upbeat. I'm not angry about it. I'm trying to make jokes about it because that's how I deal with everything. So being more positive is something that I find in my main channel, and I know you know what I'm talking about. I've been too negative, I've been too divisive, and this is something that is not good for your brand, and it's not good for business in general. So being more positive, trying to be funny, trying to have fun with this, not try to take yourself too seriously. I have taken myself way too seriously for too long, and that created a lot of problems. And again, I know you know what I'm talking about. Frequent uploads is something that everybody says that the algorithm, but the algorithm is always, it's almost like this deity. It's almost like everybody's like doing like their own little rituals. It's almost like a cargo cult religion where you're like, oh, I did this, something good happened, the algorithm, it like that. It's, you know what I'm talking about? It's very much like if we're all like a tribe and we're all like banging on the drums, and then this guy bangs on his drum a little bit different, and then his channel gets a big boost, and we're like, oh, that's the secret. But nobody truly knows, outside of YouTube themselves, nobody truly knows what YouTube likes and doesn't like. So what I can tell you is that for me, frequent uploads have helped a lot. Right, my channel is growing a lot. AJ adds, it depends on the content. Absolutely, it does depend on the content a lot. If you're talking about, like, if you want to cover Switch news, you gotta do like what like RGT85 or Spawnwave do, right? You gotta, like, every day new news come up, like hop on the subreddit, see what's going on, see what people are talking about, see what people are excited about, see what people are criticizing. Kind of like, okay, so this is what's going on, this is what the community's thinking, this is how they're responding. If you want to do something like that, you have to do daily uploads. If you're going to do something more like more production values, then you won't be able to do like a daily upload thing. You're going to have to space them out, right? So there's that. Going back to what AJ added there, if your aim is crazy production value, then having a longer turnaround time is negligible. If production isn't key to the value, frequency is more important. AJ is absolutely right, according to my experiences. Like, I agree with him entirely. People find success in like, here's one thing that I'm learning continuously. There is no formula to YouTube whatsoever. Like, we come up with all these theories and they make sense, but you will find that people sometimes do the absolute opposite and they still are very successful. So that's awesome about this platform, because you can really truly do it the way you like it, and it might work. You don't have to get into a box with everybody else if you don't want to do that. It's still viable, right? There are people who do videos today. Right, there's a YouTuber. She's nothing to do with gaming. She does like social commentary kind of thing. Shoe on Head. I'm sure a lot of you guys know her. I met her at VidCon. Super nice. And she does videos still in 480p, standard resolution with black bars next to, you know, like letterbox. And she still has 1 million subscribers. People don't care because people like what she's saying. They like her personality. They like her jokes. So production value is important. I like production values. I'm a technical guy. I'm sure you guys can tell from my videos. I try to do like little visual gags and little things in here and there, right? Visual inserts, like videos coming in to, like, you know, examples I'm talking about, and then a little video comes in. That's like a little more production values in that sense. But that's really, I understand that that's not what will make somebody subscribe to your channel. Really, it isn't, right? If they enjoy your personality, your take on things, that's what's going to draw them in. Even if your video quality isn't the best, even if your production values, you know, aren't way up there, people will still flock to you if they like your energy, if they like your vibe, if they like what you're dishing out. Like, if you're talking a lot about, like in my case, I talk a lot about retro gaming, right? Portable gaming. It's a niche thing. It's not something that everybody enjoys, right? Like, the mainstream thing is to talk about your Fortnites and talk about your Call of Duty. That's what people really like. The majority of people enjoy. So I came in knowing that what I'm talking about is going to limit my audience. But here you guys are. You still found me, right? So there you go. AJ also added, the YouTube algorithm likes what people like. If people want to see you make high-end videos and are willing to wait for it, the algorithm will reward that. If they want snack food, it'll reward that too. Snack food is a great analogy. It's a perfect analogy to this. Because you can do videos like snack food, like quick turnaround time, just like comment on the news, talk about this thing that happened, do some quick research and put your thoughts out on there. On that, people like the algorithm will benefit you. Like if that's what people enjoy, like the algorithm knows what people are watching, they know what are the videos that people are staying with the longer, they'll recommend you more of that. So again, trying to figure out the algorithm is complicated because there's so much that works that it's hard to pinpoint what exactly is the source of any given channel's success, right? But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. And I do think about this all the time. I'm always on Social Blade. I do a little video here and I do something here and I'm checking on Social Blade to see the result. And I'm happy to report that recently the algorithm has been nice to me. The channel was at a bit of a slump with I was growing roughly like 50 new subscribers a day, which is a bit on the low end. And right now, it boosted right up to, like, today, 600 new subscribers, almost 590 new subscribers because of the recent videos that I did that you guys really liked. So, yeah, it's awesome. Let's see here. So, Nightwing ST21 asks something very interesting here. So, he says, Izzy, I know you already made a video on Nintendo Direct, but what do you think Nintendo Direct should add to attract more people to this subscription plan? So, to me, coming in as a retro gamer, right? Retro games are important to me, and Nintendo has an amazing back catalog of retro games. So it's crazy to me that they don't leverage that, right? To make the Switch Online a real selling point. Because think about it, if they wanted to come at this with like guns blazing, just hit the ground running and really make the Switch a force to be reckoned with, if they made it so that Switch Online was more like a Netflix of retro gaming, I know I spoke about this before, but if you had some NES games, and not just 20, they had quite a bit of time to secure licensing and to get it right. They had quite a bit of time. Come on. So if you had NES titles and you had Super Nintendo titles and you had, I know N64 would be tricky because this control scheme, like what would be the C, like so the C buttons would be this, but then what is A and B? Like would that have to be the shoulder? Like I get it. N64 is tricky. But GameCube wouldn't be so complicated, right? Super Nintendo wouldn't be so complicated. If they offered a large, like a bigger catalog of these classic these classic games of theirs, I think it would be a real strong showing, right? Like, but unfortunately, Nintendo didn't prioritize that. What are you gonna do, right? It sucks, but it's the world we live in. I already get all these games on my GPTXD anyway for free if I want to, but I wouldn't mind paying for them to have them on this. And it's disappointing when Nintendo was taking down all of those all of the emulation sites. The optimist in me, the silver lining was, you know, maybe they're gonna offer something so amazing, and they don't want these free ROM sites to compete with whatever they're going to offer, right? I need to get some more water. Give me a second here. I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna get some more water. I'm really thirsty. Where's the thing here? Give me a moment here. And the reason you're not seeing me anymore is because I'm actually not wearing pants for this stream. I'm sorry about that. But I gotta get up and get some water. Be right back. Give me a second. Look, when you work at home, don't judge, okay? Sometimes I go an entire day without putting on pants. I get up, I'm wearing shorts that I went to bed with, and I get right back to it. That's one of the beauties of working at home. I'm back. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Anyway, where were we? Wear some pants, dude. Hey man, it's comfy to just be wearing shorts. I'm not naked in my, even if I were. Come on, it's my house. It's my house. I pay the bills. I pay rent. So why can't I be naked in my own house? Okay. Gustavo asks, Izzy, what's better, PSP or tablet? Really depends on what you want to do. What do you want to do? Gabriel says, dude, I'm improving my English with your videos. Thanks a lot. You're welcome. IBR18 says, Izzy, I want to get the new Smash Brothers Switch bundle, but I am $100 short and I need the money by next month. Got any tips to raise money faster? I'm 15, by the way. Where do you live? Depends on where you live, right? Like in the States, it's it's easier for somebody at your age to like find a job, like doing something. Whereas like in Brazil, it's almost impossible for a 15-year-old to make any money, right? Is just kind of hanging out. Teehee. Oh my goodness. So thirsty. I've been drinking a lot of water during my videos, so the people over at my main channel have been speculating if I have diabetes or if I have kidney stones or something. No, it's just, I think it's funny because I knew people were going to be asking and creating all these theories of why I'm drinking so much water in the videos, and it happened. I knew it. I know these people so well. What great game have you discovered through emulation? Great question. Absolutely great question. The entire PS1 library. I didn't have a PS1 growing up, right? So, yeah, and when I bought my PS2, it was backwards compatible, but I didn't care about the PS1 library, so I skipped that entirely. So I discovered the PS1 library entirely through emulation, like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, one of my favorite games of all time now. Talis Belly Nunes just pitched in $10. You rock, bro. Thank you so much, dude. What is your main channel? Asks Andrew Watchas. I'm thinking you're Polish? Romanian, maybe? My main channel is, my name is Inobri, but it's in Portuguese, so unfortunately you won't be able to understand. Although if you're Romanian, Portuguese will sound very familiar to you because it's very Latin-based, just like Romanian. Sonic 06, not a fan of Sonic. I mean, let me rephrase that. I love Sonic. I'm not a huge fan, like Bob Wolf. The guy's a crazy Sonic fan. I didn't play Sonic 06, believe it or not. And I had an Xbox 360 back then, but I didn't buy it because, well, you know. Andrew Moraes asks, hey Izzy, will there be a 99 Vidas game sequel? And you consider to create a different genre game with 99 Vidas crew? No plans for a sequel at the moment. We have discussed a game. I pitched an idea for a game, and but it's still like, it was just like me talking in the chat with the guys. We haven't moved in any direction with that, and that's not happening at the moment. There's nothing going on at the moment for a sequel. No plans for a sequel at the moment. And I don't want to talk too much about the idea because I think it's a great idea, and I don't want to spoil it. Let's put it that way. What else? What do you think about Bloodstained? Asked Bruno. I'm very excited for it, but it's still not out yet, and I want to play it on my Switch, so fingers crossed that it'll be as good as classic Vania, right? Nightwing asks, Izzy, what gamepad company would you recommend based on quality, price, and durability? And you can't choose the GPTX since you always talk about it. Great question. I have it right here, in fact. Where is it? Where is it? It's back here. Where is it? It's here somewhere. There it is. Okay, I found it. This thing right here is the GameSir G4X. It's a Bluetooth controller, but even if your computer doesn't have Bluetooth, it comes with a 2.4 gigahertz dongle, so you can use this as like a regular radio controller, right? For your computer, or if you have Bluetooth on your laptop or whatever, you can use it like that too. And it has really good, like the buttons are really, really good, really tactile. Like the D-pad. The D-pad is not the best, but it's not terrible either. The sticks are great, and it has the little flip out thing you guys love, so you can also play with your cell phone. So you can play your emulators like this, and the build quality is great. The weight is great. Battery life is insane. When you turn it on, I'm gonna turn it on here so you guys can see. Look at this. The lights come on and everything. It's a great product, and it's not that expensive. Expect a review soon. This one, this is what I would recommend. It's like it works on pretty much everything. I'm not sure if it works on the Switch. I have to double check that. But yeah, it's a Bluetooth slash, like, even if your computer doesn't have Bluetooth, it'll still work with it. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. Do another video with Bob. I'd love to. I'm a huge fan of Bob's channel, Bob's work. Both Wolf brothers, I love them. Great people. Really, like, they're great at what they do, like video-wise, the presentation, and they're just great people. I love chatting with these guys. Very insightful about the business itself. Love those guys. Absolutely, hands down, great people. I was really bummed that they didn't go to VidCon this year because I was really looking forward to meet them. Yeah, I would love to do more videos with Bob. He's absolutely great. Bob is actually, I credit Bob with my coming back to the Switch. I bought the Switch at a complete whim. I didn't intend to buy the Switch. I was watching some of Bob's videos and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. So I picked it up, and then watching more of his videos, I became in love with the system. So the way you guys feel, I get a lot of comments saying like, oh, I got the PSP because of you. I love the PSP because of you. I love the GPD-XD because of you. That's how I feel about Bob and the Switch. Bob the Builder. Maria Eduarda Alves asks, did GearBest hook you up with that controller, or did you actually purchase it? They hooked me up with the controller. Most of my gear nowadays, like the really expensive big ticket items, like my 70D back here that you see, like this is a 70D with the teleprompter, the microphone, the lights, like most of those things I bought myself. But these like gadgets, like, you know, controllers and emulation, like all these things, GearBest supplies me those for reviews. Sora850 says, since my question got ignored, I guess I'm off. See you all. I'm so sorry. I hope she's still around. I didn't see her question. It's a little hard to keep up and still try to give in-depth answers to everybody. Let me see. What did she ask? I'm so sorry now. I feel bad. Where was her question? Yeah, oh my goodness. I see she was trying to reach me for a while. She says, okay, never mind, I suppose. Let me go back a little bit further. And I hate that, because I hate when I go to a stream and then people act like they're too important to read my question. Oh man, I hate that. I'm so sorry. I hope she's still around. I found her question. She asks, what's your favorite PlayStation game? And in case she's not around anymore, I'll answer that to you guys. My favorite PlayStation game is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I love that game, dude. It's do I even need to say anything? It's an incredible game. Like, I finally now, so long after, I finally experienced the game, and I see why it got so much praise over the years. Chris J just give me $2. Thank you so much. And he says, Izzy, what Mario? It's basically it's an inside joke for my podcast. It's hard to translate. What's your favorite weapon in Symphony of the Night? I don't actually have a favorite weapon in Symphony of the Night. I could load mine up and see what I'm using right now. Whatever I'm using right now, I'm gonna guess is my favorite weapon. I don't like the knuckles, like the brass knuckles. I hate those. The reach is not that great. Drubio asks, what Bob? I'm referring to Bob Wolf of the Wolf Den, is a YouTube channel. It talks a lot about a lot of the same things that I talk about. So if you like my channel, you probably love his channel. His channel has a little bit better production values. I'm not sure what Bob, like, what's his background. I assume it's something in broadcasting or video editing, because his videos are really slick and he talks really well. Oh man, I think she really left. I feel so bad now, honestly. Batavu, what up, my dude? Let me mod you up too. There you go. I hope I modded. Yeah, I modded the right person. I hope I didn't misclick and modded somebody else. Pedro Bender asks, what about podcasts in English? Can we expect something in the future? Podcasts are hard to set up. They're not as easy to set up as a YouTube channel. I likely will never have my own English podcast. I discussed that with Bruno from 99 Lives, right? 99 Vidas. Oh, Bob is a graphic designer. Oh, that explains it. That explains a lot. That's why. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so podcasts. I've been on Bob's podcast, right? I've been on Crass versus Class, the podcast that RGT85 does with Jason Lepin of, I think he's from Montreal. I've been in a few English podcasts. Like, I've been on The Dick Show, but I don't plan on making my own podcast anytime soon. Wolfden is great. He convinced me to look for Power Pro Controller. The Pro Controller for the Switch is incredible. I don't think anybody can say a single negative thing about the Pro Controller. Maybe the price, right? It's like 90 bucks Canadian here, so I don't know. Bob is a professional Mario Maker speedrunner. Austin Riggins says, shout me out, please. And a bunch of emojis. There you go. You've been shouted out. Oh man, I'm seeing here I'm seeing some photos of the SpaceX live stream right now. I probably shouldn't be talking about this because I'm going to be directing my audience to watch a different stream, but it's looking pretty exciting. I want to wrap this up to go see that. Chris just pitched in another $2. Thank you so much. And he asks, thinking about buying an Amazfit BIP. Any thoughts? Great little device. The battery lasts forever and it's so affordable. I definitely recommend it. A lot of people complain about the D-pad on the Pro controller. Really, I think I'm really forgiving on D-pads because I love the D-pad. Like, I love the Dpad XD, and the D-pad is probably the worst thing about it. It's really mushy. It's not crazy tactile. They improved that on the XD Plus model. But maybe being used to this thing here made me very forgiving on D-pads. Then again, people are really hard on D-pads. If there's one thing that people will easily complain about controllers, think about it. It's the D-pad. With the GameCube, it's too small. With the Xbox 360, it wobbles weird. It doesn't actuate right. It's not clear which side you're pointing, right? Like with the Switch, it doesn't really have a D-pad. So there's that. Like people are really... When was the last time somebody said, like, somebody truly said, like, oh, this D-pad is great? I honestly can't remember of a controller that made people say that, right? So the D-pad is what people have a hard time getting. 8-Bit Do has the best D-pads. 8-Bit Do, they are the MVPs of controllers. Sergio says, hi Izzy, I'm Brazilian, but I prefer your English videos because your English community is so much better than the Brazilian. And yeah, they are. And a good part of me is it's my own fault, right? But yeah, what can I say? I learned a lot with my Portuguese channel, and I'm learning not to make the same mistakes over here. So yeah. For reference, was the PS4 D-pad bad? You know, it's funny because you barely really use the D-pad on the PS4 that much if you're not playing indies, right? Like you're using it to change weapons on most games and things like that, and menu selections. So I don't mind the DualShock D-pad, really. Deception John says, hey Izzy, as a fellow Canadian who's been all around the country, what's your favorite spot you visited since you moved here? So I actually haven't traveled in Canada as much as I would have liked. When I was in EMT, right, like I did my EMT practicum out in Mayerthorpe, which I'm not sure if you know, it's like a city in the boonies. It's like an hour north of Edmonton. It's like a tiny little hamlet, really. It's not even a city. It's like a little, almost like a little village. Small town, super small town, probably the smallest town I've ever like lived in, because I was there while I was doing my practicum and things like that. So I went there, like rural Alberta, quite a bit, right? And like when I worked in that field, I was traveling back and forth with patients and things like that. But I've been to Vancouver twice. I used to live by Toronto, right? Like Oshawa, Ontario, like 40 minutes away from Toronto. That's about it. I've been to Ottawa once, and never been to Montreal. Never been to anywhere else. It's kind of a bummer. I want to travel more, definitely. When are we going to see gameplay with co-op games with you and Natalia? Very soon. Very soon. I'm actually close to Mayerthorpe. No joke. No way. Are you seriously? Are you joking? No way. Ricardo Mello asks, how did you get such a good English accent? I'm surprised to learn. I was really surprised to learn you're Brazilian. I'm Portuguese, by the way. I've been living in Canada since 2003. That's why. I came here when I was 19 or 20. I can't recall exactly. And so I've been here for a good chunk of my life. And that's how. Pedro says, I prefer to hear your voice when you're speaking English. I don't know, though. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say I'm nicer in English. A lot of people say that I'm constantly like looking at the photos on my Twitter timeline for the SpaceX stuff. Yeah, no, I've been living here for quite a while, so that's why my English, I don't have much of a Brazilian accent. When I get nervous, and I don't drink, but I have gotten drunk, and I found that when I get drunk, I can't speak very well. My Portuguese comes back with a vengeance, but I'm not a big of a drinker. This is like 2010, I want to say. That's the last time I got drunk. I drink like 2 Smirnoff Ice, and I'm done. Never been a drinker. Izzy's English is what I aim for in life. Well, thank you so much. Christopher Anderson says, I didn't know until recently that you had a second channel. Well, technically, this is my second channel. Diego the Telica fanboy says, Izzy, I have a suggestion for a video. I love suggestions for a video. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to do a video about, and sometimes you guys' suggestions pull me out of that writer's block. Could you make a video talking about more obscure Nintendo stuff like the Game & Watch Virtual Boy? It'd be cool since they have their charm, at least the Game & Watch. I would love to do videos like that. The problem is sometimes I feel like I have some fellow YouTubers here that do a much better job at that stuff than me. Like people like Nintendo, his channel is top notch. Or Scott the Waz, his channel, I've been binging his channel. The guy is amazing. So I feel like whatever I do is gonna pale in comparison to the content that these guys put out. And it's funny because Nintendo, his latest video is a video that I had an idea to make. It was about like examining every video game controller. It was my girlfriend's idea, and we're kind of like scoping out where to pick up a bunch of these controllers to like make a little collection and then do a big video about. But Nintendo's video about, Scott the Waz's videos about controllers was so much better than what I was going to do that I was kind of relieved that I didn't do it. Because if I had done it, then his video came out, I'd be embarrassed at how much better his video was than mine. But Scott the Waz, the guy's incredible. I also suspect he has a background in like broadcasting or video editing because his videos are incredible. And funny guy. And Nintendo, love his content. Seems like I don't know him personally very well. I follow him on Twitter. We talk from time to time. Love his channel. Absolutely love his channel. He's one of those YouTubers that when he puts a new video out, I just come running to watch. Scott the Waz is underrated. Scott the Waz is brilliant. Love the guy's content. He's a great dude. Nightwing asks, Izzy, for people who are barely starting emulation, what library of games for the SNES, DSi, DS, and NES would you recommend? That's a big one to answer. So like just a kind of like Cliff's notes, right? So for the SNES, you got to go with the classics, right? So your Mario World, your Yoshi Island, some of the RPGs. I'm not an RPG guy, but like Chrono Trigger is like one of those acclaimed games that nobody has a single negative thing to say about. You have to touch on those. For the DS games, the visual novels are really unique on the DS. So like Phoenix Wright and things like that. Though it's not my I'm not a huge fan of Phoenix Wright. I really appreciate what the game is trying to do. And I played through the first one. I didn't beat it on the DS. I really should get back to it. It's going to come out on the Switch, right? Or at least they registered the trademark for a Switch game, an upcoming Switch game. So I'm going to be all over that because I want to... Phoenix Wright is the kind of series that I wish I got more into. You know, like I have a problem with focus and attention span. So a visual novel is not something that I truly enjoy. Like I'm more of a pick up and play a couple of matches for like 10 minutes and then move on with my day. That's the kind of game that I play more often, right? Sotogo says, don't feel pushed back by other people doing way better videos on the same subject. I really would like to see your take on it. Well, if you say so, then, okay, I'll take that into account. It's just that those guys, like, I look up to those guys so much. So, like, whenever I do a video, I'm always like, you know, if Nintendo or Scott the Waz or Bob, if these guys were to make a video about this, it would be so much better in every regard, like the video quality, the B-rolls, the way they shoot it, the comedy they like, the jokes they make. I always think of those guys when I think of like the content, the ideas that I have for videos. What else? The game which I can't get into is Persona 5. Characters are lame AF. I'm not a huge Persona guy. Again, not an RPG guy. So yeah. Whatever. Somebody's messaging me here. Anyway, this is about an hour. I try to keep my live streams to about an hour long so you guys are not bored by me. And I have some other stuff. I have some videos to work on. I think you can see in the background there. I got a little schedule to do videos in, and I haven't done an English video today yet. I did a Portuguese one. And as you can see, those boxes there, those are the products that I have to review from GearBest. There's a lot of cell phones, a lot of tablets, a lot of Bluetooth controllers. So I usually do most of those on my Portuguese channel, and that the revenue that these videos generate, both from like people watching them and people buying the stuff that I recommend, if it's, you know, good stuff that I end up recommending, this is what keeps my channel afloat. And I've been thinking about bringing this stuff to the English channel, and you guys always tell me, yeah, do more of those here. A lot of these things are like cell phone reviews, which don't mesh so well with like retro gaming, with gaming. I've been trying to come up with ways to like be able to talk about these cell phones. These are like usually budget cell phones that are still offer like a pretty decent cost benefit analysis kind of thing. I'm gonna try to like find a way to squeeze this with gaming, to marry this kind of content with gaming. So I came up with some ideas, and I'll be experimenting with a few things in the coming weeks and months. Also, I'm going for surgery soon. So I'm not sure how the channel is going to, like, I have to do surgery on my shoulder. I'm not sure how the channel is going to, like, how often I'll be able to upload videos, because obviously I won't be able to use my right arm, and I'm right-handed, so I can still use the other arm, but I can't edit with my left hand. So we'll see how that works out. But I'm not going to be away from you guys for too long. That much I can promise. let me do quickly, like a real quick, like just to not let you guys out in the cold. I see a lot of people asking questions that I haven't gotten to, so sorry. So I'm gonna try to get to some of those before I leave you guys. Felipe Branco says, "Do you know Slime Cycle's channel? His videos are insanely funny. Insanely funny." No, I don't know that channel. I never seen it recommended. I don't remember anyway. What AAA games do you want to see ported to Switch? AAA titles. I really, really, really wanted GTA 5 on the Switch. And I think it's possible. With a slight graphics downgrade, I think it's possible. Are you getting the Switch Online regardless of its problems? Or are you sitting out on this one? I'll get the... There's a demo, right? Like a 1 week trial period. I'll get it because might as well. I'll probably end up getting it. I probably will because I want to play games online with my friends. So that's the thing. They got you. They if you're a fan and you love the Switch and you love playing online, what are you going to do? I wish I could, like... I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take a stand against this, but I want to play games online with my friends. What are you going to do? Gustavo asks, you asked me what I want to do, and I want to play PSP games and old video games like the PS1. Not sure about R2 and L2 buttons on the PSP. So I play a lot of PS1 games on the PSP, and they work just fine. They have you do some combinations. You can customize the controls. So sometimes, like, if you press up in L1, that's the L2. If you press up in R2, that's L2. There's like combinations like that. It works really well. Mr. Pro Poutine, how's it going, dude? He's asking how's it hanging. You showed up late. This is it. Like, it's been an hour. I'm leaving soon. That's it. Anyway. Boulder plays asks, do you have a PSVR? I do, though I haven't played on it for a very long time. Ricardo Melo asks, what games everybody likes but you haven't been able to get into? I have a video coming out about that very soon. Anyway, this is it. I'm sorry to cut this short. Right, we've gone for now. I usually aim for about an hour. I feel like an hour is a decent enough length for a live stream. We get to answer a lot of questions, get to talk to a lot of you guys. We had how many people here right now? 153 people. This is awesome. I feel like I'm at a party with 153 friends, and unfortunately I have to leave it a little bit early because I have to work. I have a lot of videos to shoot and stuff like that. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. For the donations, the people who donated, thank you so much. That keeps the channel growing. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me wanting to create more content for you guys. Every morning I sit down at this desk and I'm working and I'm writing and I'm coming up with ideas for videos, and I'm constantly thinking, I hope they like this. I hope this really, I hope they enjoy this. I hope they laugh at this joke. I hope they share this video. You guys, I think about you guys all the time. Every single day I'm thinking about how you guys are going to like the videos that I create. So thank you so much. Chris, oh my goodness, Monty's here. Dude, how come you show up at the last second? Chris Monty, literally my very first friend in Canada. When I moved to Canada, Oshawa, Ontario, back in 2003, we used to live in the same complex, same townhouse complex, and he's the first Canadian I met. Isn't that crazy? That was 15 years ago. Monty, how you been, dude? You showed up late. I'm leaving. I gotta do some videos. I gotta play some Spider-Man. I haven't been able to play Spider-Man in the last like 4 days, and I'm dying to get back into it. But yeah, thanks guys. Thank you so much. I gotta be heading out. I'm gonna be doing live streams more frequently. I work in the evening, so I'm going to probably have to be doing these during the daytime, like during the morning. I hope that's okay. I'm not sure how it works with your guys' schedule, but we're trying to make something work, right? Like I work late nights, right? Like up to 11 at night. Like that's when I come home. So doing streams at this time, I can't do them on the days that I work. But I'm gonna try to work something out to be able to hang out with you guys more. Because, oh, Sora's back, Sora 850. I'm not sure if you saw, but I did reply to your question. I'm so sorry that I didn't respond earlier. My favorite game on the PS1 is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It took me so long to get into it, and now I love it. It's one of my favorite games of all time, not just the PS1, of all time. But yeah, I gotta be heading out, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon again. We're gonna be doing these live streams more often, I promise you. We're gonna be playing games, we're gonna be doing stuff. It's gonna be great. I'll see you guys next time. How do I stop this?